All right, man. So here it is. Here we go, guys. Welcome, everybody. This is your boy, South Gamer here, bringing you a podcast discussion, episode 91 here, the newest episode on Dragon Ball Super. And here with me again, the one, the only, Sylar08. Say hello, Sylar. How's it going, man?
All right, dude.
Good,
Hello to
good.
everybody.
Yeah, and I heard about the news, so I'm not going to talk about it over on your side, but hope everything's okay with you. It sounds like you're all
Same.
right. Yep, same here. All right, so episode 91 discussion. Let's just begin with the episode. So I'm gonna say what the episode was about, basically. So if you guys don't want to hear any spoilers, pause, tune off for a while, and then come on back and let me know if you saw the episode, because obviously you have not. So in episode 91, episode starts off with both Xenos playing a boring game of paper, rock, scissors. And because it got so boring, he summoned the Grand Priest, who informs Zeno of how the progress is going with all the fighters of the universe for the Tournament of Power. So he tells Zeno, let's take a look at Universe 7. So Universe 7, it starts off by showing most of the fighters for the Tournament of Power in the ready room at Bulma's place. And they're showing off the board and behind Gohan, and he's showing how he's the leader of the team now. So he's showing all the fighters; they're ready to go. Beerus actually thanks Goku for once after he complains to Goku about doing things so badly and wrong and messing with Zeno, but he felt good about this for a change. So he thanked Goku for his efforts. During this period of discussion, Goku wanted to go train, and then there was a mention of how about we unlock Goku's potential, like how Gohan's potential was unlocked. They were thinking about doing it, but unfortunately Vegeta went off to go train, so Goku wondered where he went. So obviously when that was questioned, Goku decided, well, let me just train with Whis. So before that happened, we get a cutscene of Mr. Popo and Dende standing right there, staring down Vegeta, walking away from both of them, Popo saying, Vegeta, if you break the hyperbolic time chamber, this is one of my favorite parts of the episode. If you break the hyperbolic time chamber, you're banned. You're barred for life. And Vegeta was like, screw you guys, I'm still walking. And then, of course, he goes back to the old famous Vegeta we know, and he's like, listen, the only person that's going to beat Kakarot is me in this tournament. Me, the Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta. I loved it. I loved how he did that in the chamber when he was training. So he went Super Saiyan Blue when he did that speech too. So then we get some more cutscenes. So I'm not going to say all the cutscenes in order, but I will say that Zeno was looking at the progress reports of most of the universes, how they're coming along. So we got a sneak peek of Universe 9, and it showed the Wolf Brothers, which was Basil and the other two guys, looking on a rebel. I guess he was either a rebel or a pirate or somebody that heard about the destruction of their universe if they don't win, and so they caused a terrorist attack on a certain planet they were on, and because of that, the God of Destruction questioned those guys about the fighters ready for the tournament and all that, and how all this got spread out, how the word got spread out, and mass panic. So, of course, the God of Destruction did a Hakai and shut them down, those terrorists. So that was pretty cool to see that. So then we got also a sneak peek of Universe 10, what they were up to. Apparently, Goatsu is just too busy right now to even think about the tournament. He just rather upload a new GodTube video by showing off his fighters a new dancing technique, which I think Sylar, we'll discuss that one because we were talking about how emotional Goatsu was last week, and then we go into that. I didn't get that at all. But anyway, continuing on. Then we saw a sneak peek of Universe 2 because they were mentioning 11. So before we talk about 2, we get a sneak peek of 11, see what 11's going on. And it's Topo and forgot the Beerus wannabe's name, but they're both sitting at the bar, which looks like to me instead of drinking a martini, they're drinking a martini of jelly beans. But anyways, they're trying to call the general back, General Kearnshall or whatever his name is. And of course, Kershaw is communicating back to Toppo, and Toppo's like, "What the hell are you not doing back over here? We're calling you. It's an emergency call." So he tells Toppo, "Sorry guys, but I got an important mission. I gotta take care of this." And yet the mission is to save a cat. And I mentioned this to some people about how when I watched this episode, and he's all like, "Well, let's see here. What would you rather take? The saving of one being or saving of many beings, aka the galaxy, aka the universe?" So that was that general, man. He didn't care, but he was trying to save the kitty cat for these two kids on I guess another planet. But anyway, so then we get a cut scene to Universe 2, and this is where Zeno questioned the Grand Priest, saying, "Well, if 11's favored, well, 2 must be strong, right?" But then the Grand Priest's like, "Well, not necessarily, because the mirror version of Universe 11 was kind of off." So when we go into Universe 2's cutscenes, we see a new character, which we questioned on last week's podcast, and it was the green-haired chick, who was really cute. I believe her name was Brianna, and she's being questioned by these two outsiders on her planet, or their planet, and about trying to say there's a tryout thing for this planet about who's gonna represent, I guess, for their 10, their warriors of 10. And apparently they're all women, as far as I know. Like a bunch of divas fighting. I was like, wow, okay, we're really putting women into these fights now. So what ended up happening was some trash talk between the two civilians to the side, or whatever you want to say. Maybe the two people are trying out. I have no idea. But Brian then does a transformation, which was totally like a Sailor Move transformation, and turns into like a giant Teletubby, or actually better yet, like one of those people from like GT, like where Goku visit. They were doing the dance thing. But either way, we got to see a transformation from Brian to Re-Brian. I believe that's the transformation name. And she does like some kind of love cannon attack or whatever, and obliterates them. And then she's like, does the kids don't try this at home pose. And I was like, oh my god, that was the silliest thing I've ever seen. And then we go back. I know I'm skipping from here to here, but I'm trying to give you guys the best point of view of the episodes. But in between all the view findings through the Grand Priest's little orb thing that he was showing Zeno, we did see Goku fight Whis, believe it or not, in the Grav Chamber, which that was surprising. I didn't expect them to actually fight it. That was the one thing that really surprised me about this episode, was Goku going in the Grav Chamber. We haven't seen him go in the Grav Chamber since the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, after they defeated Vegeta the first time. But that was crazy to see him and Whis fight. And sure enough, Whis has still got him one step ahead until Whis put him in a hold, which Goku flashed back and remembered, hey, Toppo put me in that kind of same hold, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to gnaw the crap out of Whis. And I believe that was technically the first hit that Goku ever put on Whis in Dragon Ball Super, which was a bite attack. So I think that even surprised Whis. And then basically the only thing else I could discuss about this episode was we finally got a call from Hercule to Bulma, since most of the fighters were in her waiting room. And Hercule explained to Bulma that, listen, Buu is in a deep sleep. He's like in a coma for 2 months. He's going to be unable to fight. Once she debriefs the fighters, Beerus is infuriated. He is pissed. And and it's so funny. He's so pissed because he remembers all the times Buu dogged him. So like the pudding cup incident, the Universe 6 versus 7 incident where he fell asleep before. He held a grudge, as we called out. He's like, are you holding a grudge still to this day about all these things happening? He's like, I've always hated that punk ass for a long time, blah, 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 blah. So he's like, and then the funniest part of this episode was, all right, Goku, we're gonna go over there and get things straightened up. He turns around and notices Goku disappeared, because Goku is on his way already to go see Hercule and Buu. So that was funny, because the face he left, the facial expression was so funny on Beerus after he left. It was like a jaw dropped off his face, and it was pretty funny. And another funny moment from Beerus too that I didn't mention, which was in mid part of the episode, was Whis calling out Beerus about training, because Goku wanted to train, Vegeta's training, and they're all talking about, well, nothing but a well-deserved meal after training, and Beerus didn't do crap. So, and then the facial expression was a joke because they knew that was a comedy part of the episode right there. That scene there. So, other than that, that was pretty much the whole episode 91 I got out of it. We didn't see anything from Universe 6. Or any other universes that we know of. I think there's still a few universes we don't even know about, like let's see, what else? Is there any universes that haven't been shown yet? I'm sure they're going to show some new ones, or all if they've already been all shown. But bottom line is, after the whole episode was done, I am looking forward to episode 92. And to tell you the truth, I am looking forward more to that. I think that was the best part of this episode, was just basically next week's episode. I was not too impressed with this episode. It was a lot of silly moments, a lot of pointless moments. There were some okay moments. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna hate the episode. I gave it a borderline 6 out of a 10. I was very shocked to even give it that high of a score because I was thinking maybe a 5 or below, but I gave it a 6 just because of the Popo and the Vegeta thing. Both that and him doing his quote in the time chamber. The Goku training montage in the Grav Chamber with Whis and getting that first hit on Whis, I thought that was pretty good. There were some other parts that, and of course the Beerus thing laughed at me, but I think he's starting to become a joke as well. You guys that are in the chat, let me know what you guys think of what you thought of the episode. 1 being the worst episode in Dragon Ball Super history, 10 the best episode in Dragon Ball Super history. Let me know what you guys think. Some people are saying 4, some people are saying 5s already. Sylar, tell me what you think about this episode, and if there was anything I missed in the episode, feel free to say. And let's hear your thoughts, man.
It was shit. Podcast done.
Yeah, I mean, that was short and sweet, and I agree with you. I really did not like this episode too much, and I'm shocked to even give it a borderline 6. I shouldn't even give it a 6, but it's just because of my favorite characters that were doing their thing. But go on. So what? Explain to the audience here today what you really thought besides it being shit. Like, what did you not like about it, and if anything, was there anything you did like and you're looking forward to?
I had a lot of issues. One of the things they do stupidly frequently in Super is they tend to kind of undermine the importance of the tournament, which is frustrating. And I refer to as we affectionately refer to him as the General Tao 3.0.
Oh Jesus!
A little skit like that with he's saving a cat, and then Toppo's all like,
that annoyed me too.
I was just like, there was no better way that they could have fucking played down the importance of this tournament by going, oh my god, that cat's life is so important right now. But it annoyed me because it undermined the importance of the tournament. If I'm just gonna literally sit here and just spew a couple of problems, because I can't sit here and talk about what was good about the episode because I'm limited to maybe 1 or 2 bits, but as far as problems with it go, the gravity chamber was something that annoyed me because the gravity chamber with Whis and Goku and their fight, and Goku can go Super Saiyan Blue, and the gravity chamber managed to not even be ruptured in any way, shape or form, and yet when Vegeta transformed to SSB in the hyperbolic time chamber, the entire spirit of room and time was gone, and I was like,
room
so
exploded, and I agree with you on that.
So the gravity,
good point on that.
You know what I mean? Like, the gravity chamber can hold SSB, but the time chamber can't, and I'm just like, do you know what I mean? And then, it annoyed me a lot.
Yeah, and it's like when Vegeta went full power, that's what I feel like what happened with that time chamber back in the Future Trunks arc was he went full power, and he was so powerful he made that thing explode. Now when Goku went blue, I don't know if he was at maximum power, but the bottom line was he was sparring with Whis, and that's why I said, like, this surprised me that he went in the actual Grav Chamber. What I actually was expecting him to where he was expecting to train, what I thought where he was going to be training was either sort of like somewhere on Earth, like how the 2-on-2 battle happened in the last episode, or possibly got back to Beerus's planet fast enough because they had like 4+ hours at this point. It only takes them like what 30 minutes to get from Beerus's planet to Goku's planet Earth. So I was expecting one of them to. I really was. Uh-oh. I think we lost connection. Hello? Uh-oh. Lost connection. 1 second, guys. 1 second. We lost connection.
What's this?
Guys, I also thank you for the cheers. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, I think we lost our Discord. Uh-oh, this is not good. 1 second, guys. We will get this back up. Technical difficulties on the podcast. I apologize for that. Don't know why. Oh, apparently Discord's back up. There we go. Hello?
Hello there.
Okay, so
I have no idea what happened then.
I don't know what happened either. But
that's the beauty of editing.
Yeah, that was crazy. But anyway, going back to what I was saying about the training was, yeah, I expected those two battlegrounds to be used, and my prediction was wrong when I was watching this episode. And I still liked the fight, and it was crazy to see Goku in the hyperbolic time chamber, or not the hyperbolic, excuse me, the grav chamber itself. That surprised me. Like I said, he hasn't been in one since the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. After they all beat Vegeta, when he was he was toast and sitting in a hospital bed for a while, wrapped up in bandages. But yeah, I'll agree with you on that too. But I still like that fight between Whis and Goku either way. But what other points did you want to share other than some other bad points? Like I definitely did not like the episode, or not the episode, excuse me, the Universe 11 situation at all too. I mean, because I was telling people in my stream yesterday when I was doing a discussion earlier, I was like, you know, what do you want to save? You want to save one being, or do you want to save millions of beings in your galaxy, your universe? You know, if you're asked to go meet up with one of your commanders, the chief of this universal tournament of power, your teammates, you need to get your butt out there, get your ass, stop what you're doing, and get over there. You know, there's always going to be many other animals out there. Yes, I understand he's doing a noble thing for 2 kids, but the thing is, what's more noble, saving the cat or saving everything? Like everything that exists, you know? And I agree with you on that too. And it's all hard stuff. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I would save a cat if I could too. But if you had a gun basically pointed at your head, basically to say, listen, if you don't win this tournament power, not only does this gun go off, but everybody else is done. You gotta take care of the world, bro. You gotta take care of the universe.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm not trying to be cruel about the cat, but I'm just I love cats,
yeah.
but you know.
It was ridiculous. Like the whole sketch was
absolutely
ridiculous.
That's why I'm shocked to give this a borderline 6, and I'm just being that nice, but I should honestly give this episode a 4.
I mean, that was only one like really tiny issue that I had.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's only a tiny issue, but it's an issue nonetheless. I felt the need to bring it up. Like going to the complete other side of the spectrum, and I feel this really needs to be discussed now, because it's got to the point where it's now excessively stupid.
Go ahead, man.
Dragon Ball Super's timekeeping ability, and it is annoying me now, because they said they haven't got enough time, and in the episode you clearly see Vegeta going into the room of Spirit and Time. There's 4 hours and 10 minutes left until the Tournament of Power. Like, question 1, do these fuckers ever sleep? That's number one. Right? Like, is anybody even going to sleep before this tournament, right? That's number 1. So, like, they're all like, oh no, 24 hours, lead. What was it? What did it start at? Was it 30-something hours till the Tournament of Power? Did anybody sleep in the past 30 hours?
Yeah, has anybody ever slept in here? And then
nobody slept.
And then what I was gonna say, I'll cut you on this one. I agree with you, because then it's like each episode that went in, it seemed like it really shaved time off, like big time. But then it was like these last 2 episodes. How do we go from like 4:30 or 4:40 to just 4 or 4:10? And it's like, but we fit about 22 minutes worth of anime in one episode. So I'm with you on that one too. And then granted, it's still nighttime based on these episodes because they're now in a nighttime scenery. So
yeah, I mean that's not even the. I mean that's just the icing on the cake, bro.
Yeah.
I mean like sticking with the timekeeping theme, and here is my major like either it's one of two things: either Akira Toriyama and Toyotaro are just extremely forgetful and keep forgetting things, and again that is a consistent theme with Dragon Ball anyway, as a whole, or number two, the characters within Universe 7 are just dumb as fuck, right? Because it's one or the other, and the reason is I work it out. Vegeta's going into hyperbolic time chamber, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You can have up to 2 people in the hyperbolic time chamber, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, you can.
Why?
That's the rules.
And they're all saying, you know, there's 4 hours left of the tournament, and everybody's kind of going. Elder Kai's even, you know, he's sat there and he's like, "I unlock your latent power."
Well, that's
you know what I mean.
I heard, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Mathematically,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that 4 hours is the equivalent to 60 days worth of training in the hyperbolic time chamber. It only takes 25 hours to awaken the hidden power. You can have
Correct.
2 people go into the chamber, right? Why on fucking God's green earth? Because the rehash the rule. You can go in as many times as you want now,
Mhm.
because Vegeta's been in fuck knows how many times. But they could have had Vegeta and Goku go into the hyperbolic time chamber with 60 days left,
Yeah.
right? Or they could have had Goku go in on his own
Mhm.
with Elder Kai, and had Elder Kai go in for like 1 fucking day. 1 day he could have got
Right.
it. Goku could have got his latent ability. Goku could have come out. Vegeta could go in. He could unlock Vegeta's fucking ability 1 day and still leave 58 fucking days left for them 2 to go at it.
Absolutely.
Vegeta versus Goku in the hyperbolic time chamber with Mystic fucking Awakened training, bruh.
Bruh.
And 58 days worth of Mystic training.
Oh,
right?
exactly. I mean,
Like-
they would have some strong fighters. One thing I you know, here's where I say Vegeta gets the shaft a lot is they don't mention him anyway. They just mention to give it to just Goku only. You know, the Kai himself, the Supreme Kai. And I'm like, come on. I mean, if you're gonna give it to him, surely you could give it to somebody else. Or hell, why don't you go to the hyperbolic time chamber yourself and go give it to Vegeta since he's already in there? You could. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, could have done that, but it is what it is. But I agree with you on that one too. That it's ridiculous how they can talk about that. It's like more of, it's like if they say something like that, it's like a troll to the fans because like it's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's logic, right? So you would think, okay, well, let's get the best that we can get out of our fighters. You guys know that less than 4 hours left to go. Hell, going back all the way to lots of the episodes when the timer started, they should have just thought about that to begin with. I understand Goku was finding all the fighters together. That's one thing. But you had all that time once you had a fighter start training. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, no one thought about the hyperbolic time chamber, except for Vegeta. I knew he was going to think about. I already knew Vegeta's favorite place to go anymore is the hyperbolic time chamber. That is his favorite place to train now. He doesn't train as much at home with that graph chamber anymore. But that hyperbolic, man, he just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Meanwhile, Goku has his own methods of getting stronger. And, you know, like I say, I think Vegeta gets more of the shaft every time in this series. But that, you know, speaking as a Vegeta fan, it is what it is, and you have to live with it. So, but anyway, let's go to the new topic. We're gonna actually discuss now. Let's see, that was episode 91. We're gonna discuss the episode 92 preview. So, if you saw in the episode 92 preview, basically most of the cutscenes while Goku's talking about talks of how Boo is out for a long time. What are we gonna do? Panic, blah 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 blah, and then also mentions that possibly Krillin and Android 18 may quit the tournament as well. But while he's preaching that, the cutscenes have, honestly, most of the cutscenes had nothing to do with the speech other than the ending cutscene where you see all the fighters with their like faces and their heads down, or they look like some of them are depressed, some of them are not so happy. But then in the last scene, you see Goku very happy, and it seems like he has something on his mind, which I have a feeling it has something to do with 93. We'll discuss that later. But most of this cutscenes, while he's chatting, has to do with Universe 6, and it has to do with the three Saiyans, Kaba, Cauliflower, and Kali or Kale. So basically, I know it's Khalifa, but I like calling her Cauliflower. Let's just name them by their freaking vegetable names for now. But anyways, so in the cutscenes, we see that Kaba is teaching at least Cauliflower, the leader of the gang that he visited, how to turn into a Super Saiyan. And sure enough, in the cutscene, you definitely see her turn into a Super Saiyan. So we see a Super Saiyan Cauliflower. That's awesome. Now, during some of these cutscenes, you actually see Kale or Kali hiding behind a giant rock, right? So the thing is about this cutscene, and I'll get Sylar's intake on what he thinks about these cutscenes and what to expect in the next episode. What I expect in this next episode is, besides the training going on, I think what is going on is I think Cauliflower and Kaba were expected to train by themselves, as in she wants him to just train her alone. I really feel like that's the case. I feel like Kali is actually sneaking and watching them train. I don't think she was ever invited to watch. That's my intake of how I notice. Like, here's the thing. When you have a feeling and you get a vibe of the character's looks and stuff like that, I feel like when you see Kali's up close camera shot when she's hiding behind the rock, I see deception in her face. And it feels like, to me, she was not invited to this. So, my prediction about this episode is after Cauliflower or Khalifa gets trained by Kaba and gives Kaba more hell, I'm sure, because Kaba's trying to put up with, Khalifa here. I have a feeling when she leaves, Kaba sticks put and actually gets called out behind the rock from Kali and say, listen, it's my turn to be trained. Can you train me? And I feel that's what's going to happen. But we're not probably going to see that in that episode. But I think that's going to be a start of her training as well. Now, in some of the other cutscenes, when you see a cutscene where Kali is flying across the screen from behind the rock, and that's mostly because Cauliflower transformed into Super Saiyan because it was so powerful as her first time transforming. Her power generated really good to where it probably knocked her off her feet, and that's what made her fly back 50 feet away from the rock. So that was part of those cutscenes. We also saw a cutscene. I think it's the new universe. I forgot which one it's going to be, but we see the God of Destruction wearing the glasses. So we finally get to see a cutscene of that, and it's a planet which looks like there's some robots, some kind of droid. Maybe this is a droid planet. I have no idea. So we got a brief look at possibly a new planet and the new universe involving that God of Destruction with the glasses. So that will be, or I should say the angel with the glasses. Actually, sorry, the God of Destruction. I don't know what it looks like, but it's the guardian that wears the angels for their Lord of Destruction, God of Destruction. So we got to see that. Other than that, any other cutscenes that caught my eye, I didn't really get anything out of it, but I pretty much got a lot of information from what to expect. I think that episode's going to be very lit. Other than we're going to expect to hear more boo-hoo-hoos from Mr. Boo-Boo, poor Boo-Boo. I'm sure we're going to also I'm predicting that Beerus is going to be still pissed off. But other than that, that's what I got from this episode preview. Sylar, what do you think about this episode preview? What do you intake on this, and what do you think is going to be? How good do you think this episode is going to be?
It can't be any worse than this one.
I agree with you on that.
But as far as like the predictions go, again, I've always made a point of saying don't take what happens in the intro to be
Mhm.
gospel as what happens,
Correct.
because I've made that point explicitly.
Mhm.
However, in the intro, and I just want to bring this up as a theory type thing, in the intro, you see Kale as part of Universe 10 and not Universe 6 because she
Okay.
stood with Topo, yeah?
That's 11, by the way. But
I
yeah,
think. Oh,
Topo's
yeah,
11.
sorry,
But
yeah.
anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that's what happens in the intro, isn't it? She stood with the Ginyu Force 2.0, isn't she?
Pretty
I'm
much.
pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because she's seen with them, like, I'm just throwing this out there as a theory,
Mhm.
but I don't think I don't think that she's anything to do with Universe 6, and I think she is part of the Universe 10 team.
Really? Okay.
Fucking 10, the Universe 11. The reason I say that is because, like, judging by the fact that she's been seen as part of Topo's, force in that cutscene in the intro.
Right.
Maybe she's an undercover agent,
Maybe.
and she's kind of like been sent there by Topo to scout Universe 6. And find out like a little bit more about the Saiyans, because Topo's heard all these fucking, like, Topo fought Universe 7's Saiyan. So Topo might be like, well, Universe 6 have got Saiyans as well. We should see if Universe 6 has the same strength as Universe 7.
Right, because they're mirror
need you to go-
universes. Exactly.
Yeah, I need you to go check out and scout these Universe 6 Saiyans, and that's why she's there. Maybe, I don't know. Like, I know it's a bit of a crazy theory, but
Right.
and the reason I say that is because I don't see how she has anything to do with Universe 6, in terms of, if she did, Kaba would have known about that strength,
Right.
or some reference to the Saiyan legend,
Mhm.
like in Universe 7, would be noted in Universe 6, unless they just don't have a legendary Super Saiyan legacy within that universe. So
Yeah.
that's fine, and I'm not really. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't give a shit which universe she's part of. Like, because she's gonna get wrecked in the first fuck. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
cut tease anyway. She's gonna get wrecked. Like, they're gonna make out like she's had all this strength. All the fanboys are gonna be jizzing over the Broly 2.0 and with tits,
Right.
and then she's gonna get eliminated straight away. Like, that's what I think is gonna happen. I think it's gonna be a dick tease.
Probably.
But like, the thing is as well, she obviously doesn't know what the hell a Super Saiyan is. She's obviously gone hiding behind this rock and seeing Kaba transform, sees this cauliflower transform, and then she's all like, fucking the fuck,
Yeah.
and all
Exactly.
this shit. Like,
Well, she
maybe
flies
she-
backwards, so I think that's part of the transformation happening in front of her.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So, or it's and this is the one thing I didn't mention, is it's funny, and I'm going to say this now because I was going to save it for today, and I didn't mention this yesterday. Was the one other thing I got about this preview was we clearly, if you guys don't agree with me, I'll be shocked. Clearly, it looks like she's using the same kind of attack from the second Broly movie, except it's like a reddish orange colored symbol star starting in her fist, and then it looks like she's trying to do the same kind of attack, and I'm thinking maybe that's what caused her, Kali, that is, to fly backwards. So I don't know, but I'm predicting the Super Saiyan transformation made her fly backwards. But did you guys not get a hint of more Broly-ike looking attacks, and then of course obviously the intro cutscene, which looks like a female Broly, and now we kind of see a copycat attack from Cauliflower, and I'm like, oh, this is clearly, they're really wanting to just say, hey, Broly reincarnated into a chick, basically. But now we're gonna see it in two chicks, because again, the cutscene in the intro, it's not what you don't see Kali transforming into that Broly. In the cutscene, it shows the chick with the earrings, aka Kali's the one that transforms into the Broly looking figure. So it's a lot of Broly feelings in this, and that's going on in the next few weeks, and it's gonna be huge. But this one clearly showed it.
Does Kale know she's got this ability or not. Because I mean, it was never confirmed that Broly knew he was the legendary Super Saiyan, as
Right.
as far as the non-canon reference goes. Like he just kind of, I mean, you know, is it transformation amnesia? You know what I mean? Like, is it when they hit that transformation, did they
Yeah.
just forget completely about anything else, blinded by rage or whatever? I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But, like, I don't know. I'm not going to be shocked if Kale is part of Universe 6. Like, I'm not going to be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked either, and I honestly, my prediction is I think she's with the Universe 6 fighters. That's my prediction. I'm just gonna go with what I see. She's part of that group. Is she undercover?
Yeah.
I don't know, but all I know is I'll say this: for a Saiyan woman, she's pretty fine. I will say that. I mean, she looks prettier,
question.
and her hairstyle is way much different. Hence why I could probably understand where you're going with on your prediction. I've never seen a unique hairstyle, at least for any kind of Saiyan, man or woman. But for a woman like that, you see the woman version of Cauliflower's, but then you see hers. And it's like more feminine looking. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
yeah.
You never know. Maybe she is from a different universe. But I think she's part of the Universe 6, in my personal opinion.
The only thing that makes me question whether she's not, I mean, the only thing that makes me question the fact that she's part of Universe 6 or not, and I'm more inclined to say that she's, despite my theory, I'm more inclined to say she's part of Universe 6, but the reason behind that is because if she is from Universe 11, which is Toppo's universe,
yeah.
If she is an undercover agent, and if she's part of that team, and if she's from that universe, then that would also mean that Universe 2 has Saiyans.
That would be correct. And
because they would have mirrored universes. So,
but the thing though is, this is where I'm gonna cut you on there real quick, because this is where I love debating. Because now I'm gonna debate this one, because I have to disagree. Because the thing is, we saw that preview of Universe 2 based on what Grand Priest was showing both Xenos, and we only got to see three characters, and two of them were nothing, and the one was Sailor Moon transformation, Brion. And there was here's the weird thing about Universe 2, and this is what the Grand Priest was trying to explain to Zeno about how he was saying how Zeno, one of the Xenos or both of the Xenos were saying, well, if you're basically saying, yay, Universe 11 most favored, yay, so that means Universe 2 must be favored too. They have to have powerful people, right? And that's where Grand Priest kind of he's like, well, not necessarily, because the mirror version of 11, which was 2, was a little different in how they roll. And sure enough, we got to see that glimpse. And it looked to me, I don't know, I'll have to rewatch this episode, but to me, it seems like their fighters are all female. That's how I took it at first, because it was like a tryout. Like you have tryouts, and I'm thinking the word tryout is like trying to get a gig. Okay, not necessarily being part of a team, other than maybe baseball and all that. But to me, a tryout is totally different than an actual look. I need to see who's the best in the world, in the universe. We don't need tryouts. And I'm thinking to myself, why the hell are they doing this in a fancy stage looking building, looking like Los Angeles Hollywood Boulevard with lights, camera, action going on? And I'm like, dude, I was very dumbfounded about this. Don't get me wrong, I was very hyped to see what Universe 2 was all about. And then we got that, and then we got that transformation and this chick, and then we only know of just this one fighter. So what are the other 9 fighters going to be? Are there Saiyans on this planet? Now that's going to be a good topic to debate in the future, but I'm predicting no. And the reason I'm predicting no is because I don't think Kali is part of the Universe 11 at all. And I don't know what are we expecting? Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Uranus to show up with Sailor Rion? I mean, come on. Or the Teletubbies. I have no idea. I just thought that was ridiculous. I just thought it was ridiculous, but it was kids don't try this at home. Wink. I was like, my jaw opened like, what, WTF, mate? LOL
Like,
question
the thing
mark?
is as well, I don't want to play the whole did you just assume my gender card, like, but I'm gonna.
Go
Because
ahead.
those two birds who Sailor fucking Love Cannon decided to fucking fight look
Yeah.
like men in drag.
Right.
Like, they didn't.
That kind of
You know-
reminded.
you know.
That's why I was like, my jaw opened when I watched this whole entire 2-minute scene of Universe 2, and I'm like, what the hell are we seeing? I
Yeah.
mean,
What are we seeing? What were we watching?
what the hell were we seeing?
It was
I
like-
was so like, what?
It was basically, do you know what it was? Like, if somebody said to me, how would you describe that 2-minute scene, Siler? I'd say it was like Pop Idol fused with the World Martial Arts Tournament, which allocated fighting premise based on whether you're fucking attractive or not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
I didn't get
I
that.
don't get it.
I honestly am gonna agree with you because I didn't get it. I did not get
I
it
didn't
at
get what
all.
it was.
And
Plus,
maybe
what the hell did they advertise that fucking thing as? You know what I mean? Like, did they advertise it
Exactly.
as, welcome to the world's gonna die if you don't participate idol, where you're gonna have to come in, you know, you're like, what, you know,
Yeah.
or did they I don't know, because, and you look at, one thing we do need to address, dude, on a serious issue, because this
Yeah.
is what's cropped it up.
go ahead.
Universe fucking 9
Okay, going back to the Wolf Brothers and all them. Yeah, go ahead.
have no fucking fighters. They have 3. They don't have 10. They
Yeah.
have nobody.
They're in a panic
like-
right now.
They are fucking foobarred.
That's
Like,
probably
their
why
entire
they're.
universe now knows about it, so nobody's participating, and they're all going on these fucking drunken, robbing, pillaging, 12th century fucking village conquering missions and
Right.
shit, and like, I don't understand, like, what I don't understand what angle they were even going for, because he Hakai'd that entire fucking city.
Yeah, the guy of destruction. Just,
Right?
just shut
And the
the
Supreme-
rebel off. Yeah.
And the Supreme
Shut 'em
Kai
up.
of that universe, right? The Supreme Kai, you had one job, Supreme Kai, one job, and that was to preserve creation. And you
Correct.
stood there, shoulder to fucking shoulder, with a guy who just blew up an entire city and just went, "That's cool."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's no wonder nobody likes you, you fucking gonk.
Exactly. Well, he's one. Well, you gotta remember when 9 and 7 had their expedition, there was so much shit talk from that Supreme Kai or whatever, and
He's
then
not, yeah.
it was
he's a
literally
dick.
so much cockiness from that. And here's the thing: we were talking about last week's Supreme Kai, or I should say, yeah, we were talking about Guatsu, right? And we're talking about emotions, right? You could clearly tell in this guy's reaction of emotions, there's fear. There's actually some fear in there because he knows that 7 whopped them, okay? And they got no fucking plan. They got no plan. They really don't. What do we have? We just have a bunch of big bad wolves, from Little Red Riding Hood, and whatever other fighters they can come up with. Meanwhile, whoever opened their big freaking trap made that chaos happen in the first place. If they didn't open their trap, like, here's the thing, and I forgot to mention, actually, I was wrong. They did mention Universe 6 in this episode because Hit visited Frost, and we'll get into that in a minute here or two. But literally, you caused your whole universe in a panic and an uproar, especially on that planet you guys were on. They have no plan. They have no plan. Universe 9, here's the thing. Like, we were talking about who's going to go out first. Like, we were talking about that, I believe, last week. I swear, 9 is done. Just like 10. 10 is done. 9 is done.
I think they're gonna do.
They both are going to be the first one. I think both of them are going to be the first one. Like, we were discussing 10 last week. No chance. Especially this week's episode and the GodTube, the GodTube shit. That just tells me they're done.
Oh my god.
I'm
Oh my
predicting
god.
they're done.
Like,
They're
straight
done.
up, dude, straight up, what if, and I'm just saying this as a what if, right? What if the Grand Priest is that much of a dick, right? because I don't think they're gonna. You know when I said to you, I don't even think the tournament's gonna happen. Do you remember when I said that?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be built right. I'm telling you now. I think the Grand Priest is gonna flat out use Universe 9 as an example. I think he's just gonna. They're gonna turn up with 3 fighters. That Kai's gonna be all fucking. We tried. It's not my fault. You know, go on some like fucking tirade or whatever. Like, you know, their whole universe is
Right.
in disarray. Everything's fucked. I think Grand Priest is just gonna whisper in Zeno's ear and just say, "Look,
Look,
they're doing themselves
disqualified.
already.
They're
They're
disqualified.
disqualified.
Bye.
Yep,
Snap of the fingers,
boom.
you're gone.
And
Bye.
I think Zeno's gonna wipe it
I
out."
love that prediction because I have a feeling that it's gonna be like that. I don't see. They got no chance the way this is looking. I just don't like. Even if they get 7 other fighters, 6 other fighters, however many other fighters they need, they're done. They're done. They're gonna be crispy wolves. They don't exist anymore. Just like Universe 10. So we're gonna go. Let's talk about Universe 10 again, real quick. I want to talk about Universe 10, and then we'll talk about Universe 6. Like I said, I'll mention Universe 6 in the next topic, but Universe 10. Okay. So going back from our first podcast of our channel here, we went from literally good emotion from Goatsu and getting to know the main fighter, the leader of Universes 10, handpicked by the God of Destruction himself, and then of course the chick Supreme Kai. You know, everything's all cool. We're like, okay, they got the protein shakes. This is how they're gonna get powered up, even though they can't technically. Now, here's the thing: they can't technically use items, so they're barred with protein shakes. Number one, it's like just like senzu beans, they're barred. So either way, they think their ultimate brawn is gonna win this tournament, and not anything strategic, I should say, strategy-wise, power-wise, all that. That was the point of Goatsu. We've got to feel his emotion like never before since the events of Zamatsu and his time traveling back to the past and creating a paradox to screw over stuff, and it didn't work his way for his justice thing he wanted to do. But the bottom line is, then we go into this, and I'm like, so we have the Supreme Kai dancing along and going, yay, yippee, yahoo, with the 10 fighters of Universe 10. And we go from what I discussed about Goatsu to, I just want to get 100. I just want to get 10,000 views on my my GodTube vid right here. This is gonna be the most epic GodTube video ever created in Universe 10. I think I might crack 100K views on this. You know,
Do you know what that was? Do you know what that was?
Go ahead. I want to hear your opinion on that.
That was
one.
Dude, that was legit. This is the only way I can. In terms of character development and taking a shit on character development, that was the Kaioken times 10 equivalent of Tracksuit Gohan. Right? That was like the whole. Like, there's Tracksuit Gohan, and there's, you know, let's take a shit on Gohan, and everybody got really thingy, and now Gohan's badass again. Everybody was like,
I'll even make it simpler. I'll even make it simpler. You ready for this? It seemed to me they raised the white flag. They're done. That's what I was saying. Like,
In fact, I'm gonna go one better than that.
I think they raised the white flag. They're done. They're just done.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking go one better than that, dude.
What's
you know
that?
you know what character development Goasu's gone on? You know what he is?
Yeah.
He's the white hot face off Goku of fucking Dragon Ball Super. That's what he is. Like, he is legit. Like, now gone from being this, because and it's amazing how much a week changes. Because last week I felt like I went really in depth. I had the feels for Goasu
So did
last
I.
week.
So did I.
I was
when
like,
you said what
this
you
guy
said.
is he's like a broken ass man.
Yep.
And like, he's not just got the blood of like an entire timeline on his hands, but if he fails Universe 10, he's got now 2 fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
How many bodies?
How do
and
you
then all
go
of a sudden,
from broken
like, we've gone
to
from,
that?
Yeah, we've gone from this broken ass man with the potential of having 2 dead universes, right?
Yeah.
On staining his fucking old ass hands, right? To a week later, and he's gone, well, I mean, I don't think he'll ever watch this video.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you ever do, but he's the Pete Doherty of fucking Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm with you.
he's just gone on the fucking drug bend, and I don't know whether it's Goasu's snorting something. or what.
I
but-
think he probably made his own tea leaves in that episode today.
Dude,
and
that's
I
not
think,
even tea leaf.
whatever he did with his tea.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Whatever he's done with that tea, man. He's. I don't know.
Bottom line,
It's just stupid.
he-
It was
stupid.
stupid.
So stupid. I am 100% with you, and that's why I was shocked to give this episode borderline 6. I should have gave it a 4,
Yeah.
but all right,
Yeah.
moving on. We're gonna talk about Universe 6.
Uh-huh.
So this topic is gonna be Universe 6 Hit versus Frost. And this was cool. I actually thought this was one of the I didn't mention this at all, so I'm gonna go ahead and mention this. This was part of some of the things I missed out on this episode. But so we see Frost in the alleyway on the planet somewhere in Universe 6. He's wearing his cloak, trying to hide out, trying to be a bum in the alleyway, just trying to be in hiding. And then you hear Hit talking to him out of the blue, and that freaks out Frost. And Frost is begging for mercy, basically saying, please don't kill me, and blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, it's just like Frieza himself. Betrayal incoming. So what does he do? He tries to take a poison barb, and he attached it on his tail, or it came out of his tail, and starts doing like a tail jab, like supremely fast jabs. Of course, come on, now, you gonna expect to do that to Hit? Especially when you saw what Hit did to you before, after you got eliminated and tried to steal the cube that can travel from universe to universe or whatever. Come on, man, really? You really gonna pull that move? And obviously it failed. He grabbed the tail, Hit grabbed the tail, and explained to him, you know what, this is actually what we were looking for, or whatever. And he's like telling Frost, you're gonna be perfect for the team because the team needs you, believe it or not. And if you want to join, go ahead, but if you gotta back down, you might as well die, or whatever. He said he was gonna kill him, and then he warns him, listen, you can't use weapons, so get the freaking poison barb off your tail, and while you're at it, take the goddamn one out of your wrist too, or whatever. And he's, of course he's smirking, and he said, well, it would be an honor to get back what I lost in the tournament or whatever. So the last tournament that was. So we saw that they actually made a pact, basically. It was a sign of respect, even though Hit definitely still wants to kill him as far as I know. But listen, it's more to it than just one person you want vengeance on, or if you're hired to or you're a hired Hit, no pun intended for Hit, to kill a person you're hired to destroy that's been wanted in the universe for a long time, apparently, a space pirate, that is.
Mhm.
So that was actually kind of cool. I did like that. Kind of like a sort of a passing of a torch in a way, but it's like, it's saying, hey, look, we need you on the team, But yeah, what did you think about that cutscene? Well, you thought that was pretty good? 'Cause I thought that was probably one of the fewest things I liked about this scene. What do you think?
Two things I mainly took away from this scene involving Hit and Frost.
Okay.
The first one, and this is more of a comedy thing rather than a serious point. But
Right.
how fucking strong are the police in that universe? Like, I mean, he's police sirens, and he was like, I can't go outside.
Yeah, why?
You know what I mean?
Now,
I was like, how fucking strong are the police?
He's a puss.
How strong are the police?
When he
Yeah.
when he heard that, that's a good point, because that's why I was saying he's hiding in the damn alleyway, cloaked. He's
like
hiding.
some sort of fucking.
He's like a
Frost hobo.
fugitive on the run, and he's powerless. You know what I'm saying? That's like crazy. And yet you're Frost. You're supposed to be one of the top fighters in the universe. What the hell? I agree with you on that.
Anyway,
go ahead.
on top of that, take that fucking useless ass fucking fact, because that's not even the stupidest thing about this episode, because it's an episode full of fucking skinny people transforming into fat love cannons, cats are more important than the universe, and a fucking powerful Universe 6 fighter who's in the top 10 has been reduced to being weaker than the police force of that universe. So I'm not really going to sit here and jip the episode in terms of cough it was shit, but the only serious discussion I got out of that, and somebody brought this up last week as a prediction, and I am now going to roll with said prediction. I don't know who it was, so all credit to whoever this was.
And you guys in chat, be honest. If it was you, you can speak up. But go ahead. What was the prediction that you read?
Like, all credit to this dude. With Hit's statement of, you have so much more potential, I'm gonna have to jump on the bandwagon in the coattails of whoever said it last week. I'm calling Golden Frost. I'm siding with it because
And he did quote. He did say and quote
somebody
that.
mentioned
That
it
was
last week. Yeah.
crazy. And
Like,
yes,
I'm
I
just-
do remember
yeah.
that prediction. Somebody did say last week in our podcast. Somebody did say there was going to be a Golden Frost. That's where hints where we were talking about last week. If there was a way that they would bring back Cell, and we were all shitting on that. But the bottom line was, yeah, the mention of Golden Frost.
Yeah.
That's a bold. If that's your bold prediction of the week, I love it. I definitely love the,
Oh,
the
no.
bold prediction.
No, that's not the bold one. Of
Are
the
you
week.
just gonna go with it?
Um,
You're just gonna go with it?
I'm just gonna go with that. I mean, it's a prediction nonetheless. But again, I didn't predict that. I'm just riding the coattails
How about
of
a
whoever
silver
did.
frost? Indeed, I like what some of the comments are in that. I actually would love to see a silver frost. That would be insane.
Yeah,
it's a mirroring
Platinum
universe,
Frost, maybe.
so if
I
we
don't
get
know,
a-
but like,
Yeah.
but again, and this is something that that I do need to cover as well is the
Go
fact that the Android 18 and Krillin.
Okay, so
'Cause
back
this
to
is-
the
yeah.
preview. Yeah, about
Like,
quitting
yeah, just,
possibly.
Yeah, I mean, just to sum up that one bit, because I think it's important to cover that as well.
Go ahead.
They're on about Android 18 and Krillin not participating now, and Android 17 was all like, "Is the ball guy participating?" You know, if
Mhm.
Android 18 and Krillin drop out, then does that mean Android 17 will drop out as well, or whatever? You know, it might be a
I
domino
would say
effect. But if
no. I'd say no because he wants.
I'd say no.
He wants to protect the planet. He's a
Uh-huh.
preserver. He's a preserver. He's like a forest. He's a ranger, dude. He's a ranger. He wants to protect wildlife. He wants to do that, but then at the same time, he wants to get that yacht. He wants that $10 million yacht with the
I
Zenny
think-
prize money. So
I haven't seen any of the predictions from 93 onwards.
right,
But
I
I
haven't
know
either. Other than we know that
Yeah,
Frieza's coming.
Frieza.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not being funny, but I think 18 and Krillin will drop out, and I think it leaves 3 spaces. And I think,
Wow.
as much as I don't want to say this, I think they're going to come to the conclusion that there are no living fighters that will go on their team. Goku's going to come to this conclusion. You know, Whis will say it, or Beerus or whatever. Or Goku will say, you know, about living fighters, and somebody will pipe up and go, well, if there's no living, what about the dead? And then that's when they'll go and be like, oh my god, we could go to Frieza, blah blah blah.
Right.
And that's what will stink that catalyst. But there's 3 spaces then to fill, right? I think they're going to go on a 3, maybe 2 or 3 episode bender after 93 and be like, you know, the search for fighters in HFIL, or whatever you want to call it. You know,
Right. Right.
I think they're going to get 3 fighters.
Oh,
3
absolutely.
dead fighters.
Wow. So, are you thinking Cell may actually come back then?
As much as I don't want him to, I'm going to say this is my bold prediction.
Go ahead. This is the boldest prediction you're gonna make with 3 dead fighters. Let's hear it. Besides Frieza.
I'm going
who's
to
the
say
other 2?
Frieza. I'm going to say Cell. And the third one, more than likely,
What's that?
He said, you know, that's the date he needs to be.
I would
in,
say
so,
Babidi.
Babidi.
Okay.
Really? Why Babidi? I'm just out of
Okay.
curiosity.
Because
You two.
tactician wise, Babidi's a fucking genius. No, I'm only kidding. Is it fuck Babidi? Like fucking, I
well,
don't
let's
know.
stick
like,
with canon because
yeah.
here between the movies and stuff, here's what we know, right? We know that. Let's start off with the first person that we saw in the Z series. That I mean, we could even go back to Dragon Ball if we need to, but let's start with Z. First person to die in Z was Raditz. Okay, with Goku.
Mhm.
That was number 1. Then, of course, Vegeta killed his partner Nappa. Okay, so he killed him. So that's 2 Saiyans dead. Then, of course, Frieza died eventually on the same planet. Then, eventually, we had Cell die. But we also had Dr. Gero die. We had 19 is a pure android, so that's not organic. He does not count. Who else? Babidi, like you said, died. I don't know if I missed
I
anything
mean, what
else.
if-
I didn't say any non-canon stuff yet. So non-canon would be technically Turtleless, right? So we can't say he could come back. He's non-canon, right? For the movie he did with the Fruit of the Might.
I'll tell you who is canon,
Who's canon?
who was only recently made canon.
What's that? Oh, Bardock.
Yep. And they've made a
I just
big
don't
fucking.
see that happening. I just don't see that happening.
Obviously, I don't see that happening. Dude.
I don't
I'm just,
see that.
you know what I mean?
That
We're
would,
spitballing,
I'll
but
tell you right now, if Toriyama really loves fans and want to really put like a OMG moment and this is awesome, he would then put Bardock in this fight. But that ain't no way happening. That is no way gonna happen.
yeah, we know it's not gonna happen.
well-
I mean, the thing is, you've got like they seem to be focusing a shit ton on Saiyans, and it kind of like just leads me to speculate that I think I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to see Cell come back. I legit don't want to see Cell. But the thing is, they're not going to go with villains.
No, they're gonna have to go with
Because-
somebody else. Somebody that's out of the blue that died that, you know, can...
I mean, they've got a selection. You know, they could go with Deborah. You know, he's a fucking good guy now.
Actually, that's a good...
Pick
That
with
would
flowers and
actually... Well, you know what? That's a great pick because he's pretty powerful. I mean, shit, he gave
He
Super
is.
Saiyan 2 a run. Both timelines. One with Trunks. Obviously, he lost to Trunks if it wasn't for the fact that Trunks unlocked Super Saiyan 2 and the Z Sword. Then you go back to when they fought Deborah in the current timeline with Gohan trying his best, and actually Gohan lost. You know, still though, Gohan was at his top potential at this point. Not till he got Mystic, but he was still he was still a top fighter, and he lost to Deborah. So Deborah would actually be a really phenomenal pick if that was the case. And you're right, he would be technically a good guy because when he died, he was there hanging out with the waifus with their halos. So
Yep.
absolutely, that would be a great pick. You know what? I say this: if that was going to be the picking order, I would say definitely, since we know Frieza is going to be mentioned in next week, in 2 weeks from now. If that was the bold prediction to come true, I would definitely put Deborah as my number 2. As for my number 3, I mean, you know, who else is up there in strength other than Cell? And I'm thinking that's probably going to have to
Well,
be the pick.
I don't think they'd take. I mean, one villain would be enough. I think if and it isn't if because it's not confirmed that 18 and Krillin won't be participating.
No, that could be a bluff. That could be a semi-bluff, but yeah.
But if there's 3 spaces opened up, they've got to find 3 people, and I'm just saying that like, and I agree with that comment in chat by the way. Incoming unknown fighters. This would be a perfect fucking way to introduce 3 brand spanking new fucking people from Universe 7 that we have never seen. Like,
Yeah.
I would be all up in that. The only shit thing about that is because people will go, well, why didn't anybody sense them before? Why didn't Goku sense them before? Blah, blah, blah. And my only answer to that is that Goku missed a lot. Because he even said that. He was like, I didn't even sense Android 17 training. I did.
Well,
You know what I mean?
of
So,
course
like,
not, yeah.
he could have missed that, so that's fine. But as far as bold predictions do go, I'm going to say that Krillin and 18 won't drop out,
Okay.
and I think they'll stay in.
Okay.
I mean, everything I've just said was like, you know, like fan demand in terms of Canon
That would've
Bardock
been
could
so
be a factor
awesome if that
he
did
knew
happen,
if he
yeah.
even knew anything about fucking merchandising, right? Shout out to TFS there. But like,
I'm surprised Monaco wasn't mentioned, but anyway, go on.
again, Manaka, because
Just
this was made apparent to my knowledge last week, and I completely forgot about this.
Or a
Vegeta
Chaco.
does know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegeta does know about Manaka being a fake.
Yeah.
So there'd be no point in bringing Manaka.
Correct.
But as far as I can see, there's only one fucking space. I don't think Krillin and 18 will drop out. I think
Right.
it's bait. I think they'll stay in, and they're only looking for one more fighter. And I don't want to say this, but Dragon Ball Logic, which, as we know, is completely unflawed.
Correct.
Um,
Remember, Dragon Ball. Is it supposed to make any sense at all? The answer is no.
No.
It never does. But anyway, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I'm just gonna say Jacko.
But I mentioned that too. Jacko is also
Yep.
a good pick too. So
I'm
even
not
though
saying a
he's
good
not gonna be
pick.
the
I'm saying
strongest, but
that's
it would
what's
be
gonna
a
happen.
reasonable pick if that was the case. A reasonable pick to make sense. So
Yeah.
because like you said, you know, here's the thing. You remember back in Z and Frieza arrived on Earth after destruction of planet Namek, and then we learned how Goku visited a random planet that we had no idea what it had to offer, and Goku then explained to the Z fighters at this time how he learned the instant transmission technique from these aliens of this random tribe of people.
That was. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and listen, they're known for the techniques and eating food and their clothing. So they, Toriyama still has not opened up all the possibilities. Now, yes, during this time, I'm sure Beerus was destroying planets because he was the god of destruction and, balancing the universe. So for all we know, in Universe 7, there's still potential fighters or aliens out there with great potential. But here's the problem with what I'm saying now is I go back to the power scaling thing that Zeno supposedly tells the Grand Priest, that supposedly tells all the fighters, look, Universe 7 is clearly the second worst universe out of all 8 universes that are competing out of the 12. So it's like, well, I guess that's probably going to counter-predict what I was just going to say. Maybe there's more new fighters and we don't know. So I don't think that's going to happen. But, here's the thing. You guys heard my reactions 20 minutes ago. We were talking about Universe 10. We were talking about Universe 9. Supposedly they're stronger overall than Universe 9 and 7. But yet I feel like they're going to get the big shaft. The worst case there. 10. 10's going to get shafted. Okay, they may be overall stronger in their universe, but their fighters, again, we don't know what the 9 are going to be like because we only see the general of the team, the leader of the team, Mr. Big Buff Guy. I just, the way it just seems treated, they're going to get wrecked. 9 clearly is going to get wrecked. But I just think, yeah, I like your little bold prediction. I would say Jacko for sure, Frieza, and Dabura would be my 3. So anyway, that's it for bold predictions. One other thing I'm going to mention, and then we'll close the podcast for the week here, is going back to the predictions of the next week's episode. What are your takes about that universe with the angel with the glasses? Because here's the thing, guys. There's only 2 universes we are not aware of right now that we've not seen, and we're gonna see one of them next week. Okay, so let's do a roll call, I should say, of universe numbers. Clearly, 1 and 12 disqualified because they're too powerful. 2 and 11 have been exposed because 11 is going to be the favored. Obviously, it's been mentioned for many weeks and close to a month now. We finally discovered what 2 is all about. So 2 and 11 we know about. Then we go to 10, which we know about. We don't know anything about 3. 3 has not been mentioned with the mirroring of 10, as far as I'm concerned. So 3 has not been mentioned at all. Then we go to 4 and 9. 4 and 9 has actually... Okay, so 9 is the Wolves universe. 4 has not been mentioned. 4 has not been mentioned either. So 3 and 4 have not been mentioned. 5 and 8 are exempt because they're part of the top 4 powerful universes. So they're exempt, followed by 6 and 7. We already know what's going on with 6 and 7. So Universe 3 and Universe 4, your prediction, this is a 50-50 chance. What universe are we seeing next week? Are we seeing 3 or 4? I'm just going to flip a coin, and I'm going to say because of all the chaos in number 9 and 10 is so fucking chill as fuck right now, I'm going to predict that's 4. What do you think? You think that's Universe 4? And what do you think that universe is all about? Whichever one you pick, 3 or 4.
3 is known as the spiritual universe. So I'm going to say, and then I think they ranked 7th in out of all the universes, like the
Okay.
7th highest mortal level.
Okay.
Given the fact that they're spiritual, I'm just going to say theirs isn't going to be an intellectual fight. That's all it's going to be. I don't see it being anything else. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near, superior strength or anything like that. But I think they'll give the
Right.
other universes a fucking run for the money.
But my question is, so since you said that Universe 3 is going to be more of a spiritual place of planets and stuff, based on the cutscenes, then we saw technology and machines with this angel and whatever. If I didn't see the God of Destruction in the cutscenes, but just the angel for their universe. So you're thinking it's probably going to be 4 then. Because that to me seemed like in those two cutscenes I saw, it seemed like to me it's more of a tech operated planet. I don't know. Do you think it's 4 then, or you think it's Universe 3?
I think it's 3.
You think it's actually gonna be 3? Okay, you're gonna go with 3. I go with 4. So we're gonna see who's right. And by the way, let me just say
Universe
this.
4. Universe 4 is the insects.
Ooh, I didn't think about
The
that.
Universe 4 is the daemon.
We saw
the
machines
insects.
in these cutscenes. As far as I know, I saw robots and stuff. So maybe it's
I think
not
that's
Universe
3.
4. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's 3. Listen, all I'm gonna say is this. I've not studied the backstory of all the universes. There is a YouTube out there that I'm sure some of the YouTubers out there that do backstory on all these other universes have the answer. I didn't want to get spoiled by it, so that's why I have no clue. I'm just predicting. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, I'm only human. We're born to make mistakes, right? So other than that, let's just go ahead and close up the podcast. That was a good podcast this week. Really good points to go over. Definitely though, you and I are both in agreement. This episode was stinky butt poopy pants rated. That's what I felt like I got out of this. So, by the way, guys, before we close the podcast, if you guys got any comments or questions, hit us up in chat. We'll give you guys a few minutes and read some of your comments, because we did see some of your comments. We read out some of your comments. Sylar called out 2 people, it looked like. And guys, if it's questions on Dokkan Battle, we'll answer those when I'm streaming Dokkan Battle. This is all about the podcast, the episode. So whatever you guys got out of this episode, I'd love to hear from you guys. Sylar would love to hear from you guys, and we'll give you a few minutes. But I am looking forward to next week's episode. Definitely, I think this is going to be a better episode than this week's. Next week's will be a lot better, and who knows? Maybe we'll get some more surprises and side swipes. Maybe some even more new characters we don't know of. By the way, I have to tease you on this. I loved your last week's bold prediction. The girl.
Yeah. Dude, like I said, man, it was just like
it was fun though. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all good. You've got to have some fucking fun with it, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. Let's see this. Ancient Lightning says Toppo is going to fail harder than White Hot Face Goku.
Toppo
Oh
Senpai.
God, that
Toppo
is so
Senpai.
funny.
Ginyu Force 2.0. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's a good question. When was Bardock added as canon? So Sylark will probably give you the answer for that one, because he is now considered
Bardock
canon.
was added as canon in the I think it was Dragon Ball Moon manga. I think that's what it was called. Is it Dragon Ball Moon?
Something like that.
They rehashed the story of like Raditz and Janae.
Yeah, pretty much. But bottom line is he's canon, all right. But Broly is not. So, anyway, it looks like everybody else pretty much got what they wanted answered. So we're gonna go ahead and close shop here. Sylar, as always, thank you so much for stopping by. We'll go ahead and we'll show everybody on YouTube our podcast. And guys, thank you so much for the comments. We did, even though we didn't read them out loud, I still read them. He definitely read them. And now you all, last week it was all about Golden Cell. This week it's all about White Hot Face Goku from Dokkan Battle, apparently. That's what I'm getting from the chat. You guys are too funny.
White Hot Face off Goku can... I mean, what the fuck?
All right, brother. Well, another awesome podcast. That's podcast episode number 2 for us. We will definitely bring another one next week, and we'll have it up as soon as we can. Until then, for Sylar08, this is Zalf Gamer. Wishing you guys have a good
Oh,
one.
that's
and
it.
we'll-
Sorry, that's
Oh, wait.
it. Just before you go, it
Wait,
was
hold
Dragon
on,
Ball
hold on.
Minus.
We're waiting. What happened?
Sorry, it was, yeah, because I didn't want to leave that hanging. It was made canon in the Dragon Ball Minus, the Departure of a Fated
There you
Child
go.
manga. So if
There
you
you
want to look into that, just search Dragon Ball Minus, the Departure of the Fated Child, and that was the canon manga backstory to Goku's mother, Bardock, and the rehash of
Ah,
Reddit's.
There you
That's
go.
what it was.
There you go. Alright, so now you explain the canonness of Bardock. Alright, guys, for Sylar08, this is Zalf Gamer saying have a good one, guys, and we'll see you on next week's
Yep.
podcast here on Twitch. Thank you, guys.